The new Rush Duel release is happening in Duel Links, and Konami calls it the second release of Duel Links after 6 years since its initial release. People are not happy. We have comments like, no currency, yeah, it's over. I'm not going to spend my precious gems on a side mode. They're saying no speed duel box, devastated. No new speed duel content actually shafted us. The real Duel Links players should boycott the Rush stuff from a monetary standpoint and strictly farm them for gems for speed duel stuff indefinitely until we see a shift back into the direction of speed duels as the primary. And we even have an interview with the producer of the game stating, for a long time we thought about making 2 separate games, but if you create a new game, you have to recruit a lot of new duelists. Sevens, which is the new anime that Rush Duel is based off of, is not as famous as an animated series outside of Japan. Therefore, it would have been difficult to engage a new audience. Now, we also have, I don't want to spend gems on Rush Duel. Konami, deal with it. We also have this in Rush Duel, though, so maybe the one thing to not complain about. And if you want to actually talk about Rush Duel or Doom post about Rush Duel, whatever you want, Reddit r Rush Duel is going to be the subreddit where you could post stuff to, or maybe the other subreddit too. Why not? I don't know if this is going to even be popular or even take off. You tell me. But this is the place if you want to talk about it. Now, let's hop into why people are pissed, even though you got a nice little taste of it. Let's see. We have first look, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's World, a few hours before the release. What did they show us? A bunch of these cool looking cards here. And in case you didn't know this, Rush Duel is all about drawing 5 cards per turn. You draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. You have unlimited normal summons, and there's no Chain Link 2. You cannot Chain Link 2. There's no quick play spells. There are traps, and from what I know about the traps is they only activate on an opponent's summon in response to their attack, or if a spell resolves. It can't chain to a spell, though. So some comments from this maybe were not so bad. Oh, well, yeah, no new currency, not happy about that. No speed duel box, devastated, as we were talking about that earlier. But my thoughts on this, you just got a box, that's not true. I think that they will still release a speed duel box, just not on the same day, maybe not even the same week. And if they do alternate the card releases, that would be a huge problem. Imagine in Master Duel, you have to wait 2 months for a new box after every box. And hopefully they do not do that with Rush Duel. Let's see what else we got here. This is the new rewards if you were to download the game for the first time. So you hop in, you download, you return as a new player, or I should say returning player, or download as a new player. They will be giving you a Speed Duel Dark Magician, which is separate than the Rush Duel Dark Magician. And this is where the problem happened. 10 packs of World of Barian, which was the last pack in August 30th. And now we're at the end of September, and they're not getting a new speed duel box as far as we know, because you're getting 10 packs of this one. So even with my copium of there still being a new speed duel box coming out even within this week, wouldn't that piss you off if you log in, you get the old box? Anyone who waits a week gets the new box. So that actually, I think I'm going back on that. There's actually not going to be a new speed duel box until I would say at the end of October. Otherwise, this wouldn't make too much sense, right? There would be people pissed off if the box were to soon to release after. You also get 10 packs of the new 7 main box with the 7 Roads Magician. You get a free structure deck. Now, the problem with the structure deck is, if we go to that, here is the full structure deck release that you're getting if you understand any of these cards. By the way, this is the new way to rate the effects. Requirement then effect. Everything's a soft once per turn. The third copy of the structure deck you still have to spend money for. So the first copy you get for free, but there are a lot of cards you get 3 of. So that's quite interesting. Then the second copy you could spend 500 gems, but I believe we're getting you get 1,000 gems just for the release. So you could spend that towards the structure deck to get a second copy. But if you want a third copy of a card that's already limited to 3, how could this be limited to 3? Requirements: send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Change the battle position of 1 monster in your opponent's field. Interesting. So if we were to look at the big boss monster, which is 2 tributes, 1,000 defense, and this 1,600 attack monster would deal with it. and it's a soft once per turn, so you would not be able to keep on discarding for multiple monsters on the field. And a really weird trap. I think a big criticism of Rush Duel is there's no defensive way to play the game. It's just vomit your hand on the field, attack, 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 and then you just look at the life points, you end your turn. And your field really does not matter afterward because they're just going to dismantle it, chip off your life points, and then you're going to draw 5 cards next turn. So then a trap like this makes no sense to me. When your opponent normal summons a monster, draw 2. Well, what do you do in the draw phase in Rush Duel? You draw until you have 5. Well, if you have 0 cards in your hand, you draw 2 on your opponent's turn. That means you're only going to draw 3 cards next turn. So the card, in a way, says draw 2 less cards during your next turn. Now, you can't just set this, draw your 5, then activate it. It's when your opponent normal summons. So how does this make sense? And this is the first trap in the structure deck. A bunch of new players have a literal useless card. Is that just a confliction with the Rush Duel design that inherently maybe the game is flawed? I hope not, because damn, that does not look good. What about another monster spell? Send 2 cards from your hand to the graveyard. Well, you're going to have 5 every turn. Change 1 face-up monster on either side of the field to, change it to face-down defense. That could actually be good. And there's a Mystical Space Typhoon type card where it's you discard a card, destroy a back row card. But if the back row cards are things like Giant Tortoise of Greed, we probably do not care to be destroying it. What else is good? Let's see what the comments were. These are the rewards. If you at least you could log in. What else is interesting is the new UR Dream Pack. That's a brand new thing. So it's going to be potentially full of UR and SRs from boxes. As you know, in Duel Links, there's no crafting system, and you are reliant on your UR and SR Dream tickets to pick whatever you want, as long as it's not from a new box, because there's even a restriction on that, where, in Master Duel, a new card comes out, you can craft it right away. It does not work that way. As far as I know, they did not change it, but we'll see. And I'm going to be streaming Rush Duel on release on twitch.tv/Dcade. I'm going to give a fair review. It's not going to be a sponsored review. I'm just going to tell you like it is. Either it's a scam or it's not, or maybe we should give it a chance. We'll see. These are the cards that were used in the video of the TGS, which was the Tokyo Game Show. They dueled with their VTubers. Okay. Now, the field is different where there's no extra monster zones. And I don't think there's even extra monsters that are going to even be released. No fusion and nothing. And even the new mechanic of Rush Duel, which is called maximum summoning, I don't think is going to even be on release. It may not even be for the first year. So what happens is you have 3 cards. This is the left, this is the right, and this would be the middle, this one. And what happens is, I think these are connected. I don't even know which one's connected here. Oh, this one, Doomblaze, Doomblaze, Doomblaze. And if you have all 3 cards in your hand, you have Doomblaze Fiend, middle, left, and right, you could just special summon them onto the field right away. And if you have any monster on the field, they get destroyed. But then the field combines. So they actually need a new animation to showcase the new maximum summon. And then they get all these crazy continuous effects and combine as one. That's what I was excited for, and it's not even going to be in the game, it looks like. Maybe they'll be debuting that next year. Who knows? Let's keep on looking. These are the summon animations, and this is where we read earlier, no new Speed Duel content actually shafted us. I'm still in the wait and see. I'm in the wait and see camp. We got to wait and see. What else is good? World of Barian, we were talking about that. This is the new structure deck. Now, let's talk about the interview. We are currently preparing to bring a new world to Duel Links on September 28th. And as I previewed for you, it was kind of interesting that they did not want to make a second version of the game, where they did that with Cross Duel and it failed. For a long time, we thought about making 2 separate games, and I don't know, I feel like this should have still been a separate game. I don't think I really get that excited for a 6-year-old game I've never played before getting a new update. That doesn't excite me. But let's say Fire Emblem releases a brand new mobile game, I'd be like, oh, okay, I know that there's been a Fire Emblem game forever, and I decided to not play that. But if you're releasing a brand new one, I'll actually check that out. There's nothing Fire Emblem or Dragon Ball Legends or Budokai, whatever they're called. No update in the world is going to make me check them out, but a new game would. Is that going to be the same case for Rush Duel? I think it is. I think there's a situation with Rush Duel where it will just be completely ignored. People will not spend any amount of gems or money on the packs, and they're going to continue to just play the speed duel version of Duel Links, which is, as far as I remember, the term speed duel was never really used in Duel Links for 6 years within Duel Links because it was just Duel Links. We all knew it was from speed duels, but it was its own version. And on duellinksmeta.com, we are going to have a separate top decks page for Rush Duel. We also have a tier list for Rush Duel, which is going to be the Rush rankings, which will be automated by community tournaments. We do have that for Speed Duel Links also. It's going to be kind of weird having to continually say Speed Duel Links when referring to regular Duel Links, or as Konami referred to it as Classic. I think the word Classic is here. Yeah. Konami doesn't even call it the Speed Duel way. As well, they do here. Although we will focus on Rush Duel, maybe we're reading too much into this. If you focus on that statement, we will continue to release updates and content for the Speed Duel format. Those who wish to continue to have fun in the classic way. You know, this has given me the vibes of what happened in Shadowverse and Hearthstone and even Legends of Runeterra, where they would retire the older card pools to a classic mode, an unlimited mode, which in those games are pretty much a forgotten and abandoned game mode that does not really receive support, and those modes are also horribly imbalanced. But it was an excuse to have the players not be upset with the older cards, and they could continue to play the older way while they focus on the new way to play the game. Is that going to be the case here in Rush Duel for Duel Links? I really hope not, because even though a lot of you know I have not been playing Duel Links recently, we run a website, we run tournaments, we have a Discord of people that love and enjoy the game, and it would suck for all of that to dwindle even more since the Master Duel release because of Rush Duel just killing the game potentially. But then, you know, there's also a lot of people saying that maybe a ton of brand new people are going to come into the game. But where are those new people going to be playing? Are they going to be playing Speed Duel when they come in? What I know, and I think it's within this, they're going to be starting on the new tutorial. I think it might be here, tutorial. No. But I did read it elsewhere that when a new player downloads Duel Links, they're no longer going to be playing Speed Duel. They're going to be learning Rush Duel at the very start, which is unprecedented because what happened with every new world before this, even Dark Side of Dimensions, you would have to unlock the world through a certain amount of quests in game before you could actually play it. But Rush Duel, for the first time, you don't unlock the world. The world is unlocked right away, and it's actually your default world. I think they mentioned here, second launch. Yeah, look at this. Instead of needing to hit level 10 with a character to unlock the world like normal, 7's world will be free and open right from the get-go. According to Konami, Rush Duels are the second launch for Duel Links, and the goal is for everybody to be on an even playing field. Now, Rush Duel and Duel Links compared to any other game, I did use the example of Hearthstone and Shadowverse using the other game modes, but in those games, you can't buy a card that just doesn't work. This will be the first time in a game where they release cards that don't work in the second half of the game. That's insanity. You know in Hearthstone that there's older cards, sure, but on release, they're usable in all parts of the game. So now you're going to have shared currency, and you're probably not getting extra of it. And now you have to choose. You have to choose which side, instead of your cards eventually being retired to the classic mode or unlimited mode. So this really is a huge risk for Konami, and is it going to pay off? I don't know. As I said earlier, I think that people are maybe just going to completely ignore this and stick with Speed Duel Links. But if they alternate with 2 months between boxes, it's going to kill that, and just the whole game's going to be dead. And then we're going to have a cross duel situation where they shut down. Less than a year after release, they announced the shutdown of cross duel. Hopefully, this is not going to be the case. I will be trying to support this game as much as I can, as long as there is a demand from the players. So you have to let me know, do you care about this? Should I be casting tournaments? I'm going to try a little bit. I'm going to do what's called the college try. And if it doesn't work out, then I will just move on. And hopefully me moving on does not mean the game also is just going to be in a bad enough state where it dies. Now, he did say something funny. He said that he likes to beat his kids, which is not funny, but with context, he actually destroys his kids in Rush Duel with Cyber Dragon, which I pretty much he's implying is not going to be in the Duel Links release. That would have been exciting, though. Rush Duel, Japanese only card to destroy my children. Very nice. Okay. And here's a good question. It's fair to say that Speed Duels hasn't quite had the same level of success as Rush Duels. And what this references to is the real life Speed Duels, which, yeah, that does suck. It's garbage. Real life Speed Duel is not supported in any way. And real life Rush Duel is not available globally. It's only in Japan. And they do say that if Rush Duel does well in Duel Links, only then will they release it globally. So I guess it's up to Duel Links if Rush Duel dies in real life also, or at least outside of Japan. Are you worried that Rush Duel will overshadow the original Duel Links experience at all because of the physical Speed Duel also, not being good? No, I'm not worried about it being overshadowed. You could see through events like the World Championship Series, the amount of people who like the game who will still like it. So, this is promising that they would not want to overshadow the game and that they did have a lot of people excited for the World Championship Series. A lot of people who are still playing Duel Links have been doing so for the last 5 or 6 years. So I don't think that they will quit because of Rush Duel. They won't quit because of Rush Duel. They'll quit because of you no longer supporting Speed Duel the same that you've been supporting it for the past 6 years. And let's be objective here. Objectively, this is unprecedented where a new world releases and there's no new Speed Duel box announced to be released, and you're giving 10 packs of an older pack. So, yeah, it's not Rush Duel, it's you. What the hell are you doing? Well, we'll see. We'll see. Rather, this new game mode will attract even more new players, which you're funneling straight into Rush Duel. Now, is there any new Speed Duel content at all that's been announced? Something's been leaked. They accidentally revealed that there was a bundle, the Monarch Stormforth bundle. This card is insane. It allows you to attribute someone using your opponent. Now, as you can see, this is what the leak was. We could kind of see it in the back row, in the background of this, that is. I'm thinking Yu-Gi-Oh! This bundle comes with a Rush Duel card. So you try to get the Summon Skull, you get a Speed Duel card. You get the Speed Duel card, you get the Rush Duel card. Is that going to be the strategy to try to get people to play both games, maybe? And the fear was originally that the Speed Duel cards and Rush Duel cards would be in the same box, which confirmed is not happening, at least on the first ever Rush Duel box release. So I think people are kind of excited for this, are they? There's your Speed Duel content. Happy New World Day. Again, this is unprecedented. This is ridiculous. This is crazy that they're doing this. What was the decision to make Rush Duel to Duel Links? We started thinking about adding Rush Duel about 2 years ago, but we really decided to do it about 1 year ago with the success of Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. Okay. Maybe something about the Master Duel release also influenced that they want to change the direction of Duel Links, though. We're a little worried about whether the players will welcome this new way of playing. Again, it's going to be up to you. There's initial pushback because of your lack of support for Speed Duel on release. And if you just communicate saying, hey, listen, just on day one, you're not going to get new Speed Duel cards because we really want you to try out Rush Duel, which makes sense. But next week, we're going to have lots of great Speed Duel content, so you could play that in addition to Rush Duel. I don't see that being said here. So that is the annoyance here, and people are going to be really salty on the day of release, and they're not going to want to spend on the new box. I will probably be the only one with new cards in the new box that we'll be playing on the ladder with, and it'll be kind of funny to see everyone just playing with their free structure deck on the ladder. Will I get easy King of Games on the first day? Is there even in-depth enough strategy to split up and separate the good players from the bad players, the great players from the good players? Is that kind of strategy even a thing in Rush Duel? Anyone with experience in the game could tell me that. I would like to know, because from what I've seen, the game looks kind of brain dead, but you could maybe argue that about the initial release of Duel Links and early Yu-Gi-Oh! But how are you then going to introduce Speed Duel players to Rush Duel where they're used to crazy decks like Tengi has got all like pretty much the Master Duel cards, Baxia, Spin 2, Crazy Skill, 3 effects, I ain't reading that. Shaman, Reborn from the Graveyard, can't use your extra deck monster effects unless they're summoned from the grave, Draco Berserker, Banish, Destroy, Attack again, wham bam, thank you ma'am. How are you going to get these players to go to Rush Duel? I don't know, are you only focused on the new players or what? That's what I need to know. What else is good? And we're going to wrap this up. Rush Duel, Roman Cassidy, and Dark Magician preview. So this is her main guitar card. It's got an animation, and they got some cool skills. Okay, you know, that's nice to see. They did, in a way you would say, retrain the older cards. They did redraw over them to show that they're putting effort into the game. Even though this art is, what, maybe a few years old because it was made for the physical card game. Love the guitar riffs. Box announcement should be tomorrow. 2 days ago. Did not happen. So people are still coping for a Speed Duel box announcement, which maybe I will be quick to that news if it happens during my stream, maybe, hopefully. Seven's World Creators Preview Roundup. So Konami did invite a bunch of creators to their offices to debut the new Speed Duel. And of course, they were all paid to say the game is the best thing ever, and it's great, and they love it, and it's so awesome, and I can't believe you could summon so many monsters on the first turn, which you could do in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And I can't believe you could summon your ace monster on the first turn this easily, which you could do in the real Yu-Gi-Oh! But I digress, okay? Yep, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, listen, you pay me for another mobile game, I'm gonna show that too. Reduce the pack size. Oh, so apparently they're reducing the pack size. That's a good thing to make the game more accessible, right? Where's the pack size reduction that they're talking about? 140 packs, at least 9 URs. Full card list is not yet confirmed. Okay, interesting. The world release is releasing with 4 characters, 1 structure deck, and a main set, which you're going to get 10 cards from the main set, 10 packs from the structure deck, plus 1,000 gems that you could spend to get what is it, 500 gems, I think is 10 packs, 10 more packs from the main set, and then another copy of the structure deck. We got to pay for the third one, something that I criticized Konami heavily for. Why is it money only for the third structure deck? What the hell is going on with that? It's time to do away with that. I think the optics of Duel Links as a Master Duel player are just not good. You feel like you're getting scammed. And that was one really good way to just get rid of that. Remove the monetary requirements to buy stuff in Duel Links. It's unfreaking believable. You either get, okay, keep it in check back, okay, blah, 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 blah. Now, let's see, blah, 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 blah. Let's see anything else. This is the structure deck we were looking at. And the final tab, the final one. New skill previews, Phoenix Dragon, Blue Falcon, Tengu. Okay, whoa, hey, the art looks pretty cool here. This doesn't, you know, another thing I was worried about is that the game's art is too kiddie and too childish, but okay, damn, I didn't know that an elusive assassin who undertakes dangerous missions while searching for her lost partner was in the game. Okay. Seven's Roads Excel, oh, you know, all right, there's something here. What's the impressions of all of these skills? Because this is a lot to read for a brand new player, so maybe there is going to be some complexity to Rush Duel on release. I would hope so. Skills are stiff, but I like that. Okay, I guess we're saying they're a bit simple, but, you know, it is the brand new release of the game. NPC Speed Duel in, get new voices, lines, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I think a big argument for Duel Links as I wrap up this video is that it has essentially turned into a watered down version of modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Instead of being a different game, where it used to be I play modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And I play Duel Links. And now many are thinking that it is I play modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Why would I play Duel Links, the watered down version? So that could be their goal with Rush Duel, where it's a different game. It's not a watered down version. It's completely different. And maybe they could go back to that with Speed Duel if people do feel that way, to make it feel more different and not just be like Salamangreat. I can't believe how similar this is to modern Salamangreat. It's like the exact same thing. You're just missing access code talk, or you do the same play. Well, now you can't because they had to limit the trap even. That's crazy. Let's see, released. And yeah, they had to limit this to one with Gazelle. So between the Roar and Gazelle, you can't play both. But on release, it was the same thing. Gazelle set up the trap, set it up with your Sunlight Wolf. It felt like I was playing modern Yu-Gi-Oh, but watered down. But maybe they saw that as a mistake, because I'll tell you this: I hopped into Duel Links recently with Black Luster Soldier, and it felt different because this is not in modern Yu-Gi-Oh. This is what I'm talking about. Create decks that don't exist in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, play different than modern Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's what Black Luster Soldier is. You swarm the field with the Super Soldier, the Legendary Swordsman, which is a brand new card in Master Duel, also came out in Duel Links, and I had so much fun playing this. It reminded me why I fell in love with Duel Links to begin with. So we need more of that, but it did require a skill like this. Like, oh my, a novel is crazy. What's so crazy about this skill, and then we're going to end this video, is that you start the duel with this in the graveyard, and what does this say? It says that the turn this is sent to the graveyard, you cannot activate this card in the grave. You have to wait till next turn, but the skill cheats. It wasn't sent to the graveyard, it was placed in the graveyard. So since it was placed in the graveyard, it goes over the restriction, and you could banish it to then ritual summon with the Black Luster Soldier that you search for with the skill, with materials that are placed in the graveyard with the skill. I loved it. It was crazy. And that's it. So I will be giving a fair review of Rush Duel on release. I'm not going to be shilling it. I'm not going to be going all out for it. I would love for the game to do well because of the website. And, if you get top, if you top the Rush Duel, I would like your deck on the website. We go in between the decks there and the tier list. And make sure you check out the new subreddit. If you want, again, I don't know if this is going to really take off. It's probably going to die right away. But thank you very much for listening. I'll see you on twitch.tv/Decade. And we are out.